Hello and welcome back to Blue Tinted Glasses for yet another match preview. And this time we're looking ahead to Derby versus Leicester, which should be another interesting game in the Championship. Steve, how's things with you, mate? Are you looking forward to this game?
No. But other than that, yeah, I'm good. Does anyone look forward to Leicester games at the moment?
I mean, if they do, they're into some sick, twisted, suffering, I think. So, yeah, it's not good at the minute, but we're going to talk about it anyway and see what's what. So, looking straight into it, mate. I mean, here is Derby's recent form and where they are in the table. They're currently 11th, so they are a few places above Leicester in the table. You can see here, mate, that they've not had a bad run of form, a little bit inconsistent, but 3 wins from the last 5. I mean, that's something that we would be, grateful for right now, mate. We're nowhere near that at the moment. I mean, that's a decent return for them.
Yeah, well, especially because they beat Hull and Blackburn, who we lost to. So, in that time, and let's be honest, a lot of people had Derby to go down this season.
Yeah.
In fact, they're sitting 11th after 18 games. I think they'd have snapped your hands off at that. So they're playing pretty well, and fair play to them. They've done some decent signings in the summer compared to other teams, seem to be pushing on, which is good for them.
I mean, there's a reason I think they're so high, and it's because of an individual, which we'll talk about. Luckily, he will not be playing this weekend. But Steve, I mean, you look at the table there. Obviously, Bristol City up in 6th, so a bit of a gap there down to Derby, and we're not even in the frame. We're not even in the picture there. I mean, it is, for me, mate, like, at the start of the season, if you showed me this graphic, I was like, oh yeah, it's because we're 1st or 2nd or 3rd or 4th, but we're 16th, which we'll talk about. But it just, this image here, Steve, just shows the a few teams that are above us that really, on paper, we should be way above, and we're just nowhere near them at the minute.
Well, it also cuts out sort of Preston and Stoke and Millwall above us as well. You'd thought we'd have a better squad than them. The fact that you've got 2 promoted sides in there from League One that, a lot of people have Wrexham to struggle this season, Birmingham the same. But yeah, they've obviously invested well, and they're using that momentum quite nicely. Whereas obviously with us getting relegated, the momentum is down for us. But yeah, no, if you just said to me at the start of the season, you're not even going to be in the sort of top 14, top 15 positions after 18 games, a lot of people would laugh at you and call you crazy. But that's the Leicester way.
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, moving on to Derby and what we can expect from them. So, as always, we'll look at their strengths and weaknesses, and their strengths are finishing scoring chances, aerial duels, and long balls. Now, I'm not really going to focus too much on the finishing of scoring chances because, well, we'll get to it in a minute, but their star man is out injured. But the other 2 there, Steve, I mean, again, as always, when we play these types of teams, it scares the hell out of me. Aerial duels and long balls, because I just don't think we're able to cope with aerial duels or long balls. I think we're pretty horrific at defending both. I don't know how you feel about that.
Oh no, I agree. Considering we've got a defender that's 6'4", 6'5", who just can't jump, doesn't seem to win any balls in the air. Our other centre backs, fast struggles sometimes. Okoli just doesn't like to head the ball out anyway. He always tries to chest the ball. And then the long ball over the top is something because we've got no pace. So yeah, that it's always scary when you come up against those 2 because we're going to struggle. Any sort of physical side, we're always going to struggle against, and that seems to be again on Saturday. And it's a potential Derby, quote in quotes, so they're going to be well up for it.
I mean, I will just mention the finishing scoring chances because that's something that we don't have, Steve, because we just don't have many scoring chances. It's. I mean, you look at was it the Stoke game, or I can't even remember what game it was now, where we had like 2 shots on target and 2 goals. So that would suggest we're fairly clinical. But the problem, mate, is that we just don't get enough of the chances to put away, which is a big problem at the minute.
Well, yeah. So against Sheffield United, we had 3 shots on target. Against Southampton, we had 2 shots on target. So going back, there's a trend there, isn't there, in these games? Yeah, Stoke as well, 2 shots on target. We seem to be averaging sort of 2 or 3 a game, which is for a team that is meant to be pushing up the league, not ideal. So yeah, not being able to finish chances is one thing, but not being able to actually have those chances at the same time is another thing, and something that
But
Martin needs to work on.
are you encouraged though that you just mentioned there, right? Sheffield United 2 shots on target. Sorry, 3 shots on target. 2 of them are goals. Stoke 2 shots on target. 2 of them are goals. Yes, we're not getting a lot of chances, but does that encourage you maybe just a little bit that yes, we're not getting many, but when we do get some, they do tend, I mean, just on average, they tend to be goals, right? When we get these shots on target.
Well, no, and it's a worrying statistic, isn't it? If you're only having 2 shots, okay, if you score from those shots, great. But, if you're conceding 3 in a game and you only have 2 shots on target, you're not going to win the game. So, yeah, whilst it's good to finish the shots you have, I would say that the main issue is the fact we're not having those shots in the first place, or the quality of shots anyway, because our XG is quite low throughout the last sort of 4 or 5 games.
When looking at the weaknesses over here, and this does tend to be the case with the types of teams that like to go long and like to counterattack you and stuff like that. They're not great at keeping possession of the ball. They're not very good at protecting the lead either, and also defending against attacks down the wings. And again, this is what I always say, Steve, when we see these kind of characteristics of a team. Just we need to figure out a way to use our wingers, to utilize our wingers, because we have still 2 of the best wingers in the division, in Steffi Mavididi and Abdul Fattawi when they're on it. This is just basic analysis here. If they struggle with defending down the wings and you've got 2 of the best wingers in the league, fucking feed them, man. Feed those wingers and make them pay. And especially with them struggling to keep possession of the ball quite often, Steve, maybe this is the game to try and go a bit more of a counter-attacking approach to the game, maybe, to try and just soak up a little bit of pressure and then just hit them with Fatawi and Mavididi.
So the one positive with Steffi is that he scored a couple of goals in the recent games, so that will boost his confidence somewhat. So yeah, having an on-form Steffi is good, especially on the other side, because as much as Abdul's not scoring, he's assisting. So at least there's some output from both wingers. And if they do struggle against wings, as in wing play, then yeah, you should be sort of hitting that as many times as you can, and then flooding the box. Because if they don't like attacks down the wing, that means the cut inside is an option. So get JJ pushing into the box, get whoever plays Cam pushing into that box. It'll probably be JJ. Let's be honest.
Yes.
And then in regards to keeping possession of the ball, then press. We've got quick players that can press. We've got Daka that can't score, but he can press at least. So if they struggle keeping hold of the ball and they make mistakes, then that's the opportunity for you to press as quick as you can. Maybe drop the defense slightly further back so they don't get the long ball over the top, but press them because it will give us opportunities.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, 100%. So moving on, this is Carlton Morris. Now he's got 10 goals in 16 appearances this season. He is their star man at the moment, and I think this is a big reason why they are as high in the table as they are. But, Steve, he is injured. He is going to be out, I think, until February, I read this morning, something like that. Which, for us, mate, is, I mean, that's great for us, isn't it? Because, I look at their lineup, which we'll get to in a second, and there's not really that star man in their team other than Carlton Morris, who's been banging in the goals for them. I mean, we would have loved a striker who scored 10 goals this season. We've not got anyone near that. And him missing this game is just a massive, positive for us this weekend.
Oh yeah, well he's joint top goal scorer, so he's doing something well, especially in a Derby side that, I mean, judging by all the facts, they don't score a massive amount. But those sort of 25-24, they've got a 0 goal difference. So, 10 of those goals coming from him shows that realistically it's not sort of spread out that much around the squad. But yeah, having him injured is a positive for Leicester and a negative for Derby because anyone that can sort of run between the lines, and he can, we struggle against. So yeah, I'm glad that he's out. But then you look at the rest of the team, and we'll go on to them at some point. They have got replacements in there. Silverson Salverson. Is that Salverson? He's got a couple of goals and assists so far this season. You got Aguimang, he scored 3 and assisted 3 already. Okay, Brereton Diaz has only scored 1, but we know that he's a tricky cam/winger/striker. So overall they have got goals in the team. But yeah, it's lucky for Leicester that we've got him not playing against us.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned a couple of the players there. Aguimang, very good player. Brereton Diaz, I mean, yeah, as you said, he's not lighting it up this season, but at this level, right? He's a good player. Don't get me wrong, he is a good player, and he can carry a lot of threat. Am I right in saying, is that Callum Elder on the left, the former Leicester City fullback? Is that Callum Elder?
It is Callum Elder. Yes, it is. A 30-year-old now, so he's had a career since leaving Leicester.
Yeah, I'm just looking here. So we got him. We got him in 2011. So he was with us for a couple of years. Mansfield, Peterborough, Brentford, Wigan, Ipswich, Hull. So yeah, so Australia. I didn't know he was Australian. That surprises me. I didn't know that. But yeah, and then you look at a couple of the other players. I mean, you got Ward on the right. You've got Ozo or Uzu, whatever his name is, the midfielder. But he's a good player as well. I know a little bit about him. So they, of course, in the Championship, there's no easy game, and there's always gonna be players on the other team that carry a little bit of threat. And the fact they're in where do we say 11th? Did we show on the table 11th? The fact they're 11th shows that they're not just a one-man team, but Carlton Morris, as you can see on screen, he's the highest rated player. That's not a surprise. Him missing this one is absolutely massive for Leicester. So that's one we can be very positive about. Now, moving on to Leicester, let's talk about it. I've put here, Steve, Marty's final game. I mean, if we lost this one, Steve, I know we said this about the last game as well, but if we lost this one, Steve, against Derby, East Midlands Derby, some will say it's not, but you know what I mean. It could be curtains for him, mate, if we lost this, because I'm not sure. We did that poll after the match on Saturday that was 75% Marty out. I'd be surprised if that's anything less than 90 if we lost against Derby this weekend.
Yeah, and I guess it's in the manner of the performance as well. If we're 2-0 down by half time, most people are saying, well, you should go into the changing room now and get rid of him because he shouldn't come out for the second half. Look, he obviously saved his job to an extent with the 2 goals we scored on Saturday. I think if we hadn't scored those goals, he would have gone by now, for sure. I'd still think he might be hanging on by a thread anyway. So if he loses this game, I think he's gone. Especially with the fact that the Christmas period is so busy, with Bristol City up next and then Ipswich on Saturday. So yeah, it's let's just hope, if it is the case that is the final game, we actually have a manager lined up and we don't take 3 or 4 weeks to bring somebody in like we do previously. But I feel for him a little bit because being a manager under any pressure isn't ideal, and especially against a team that will have a lot of joy in beating us in Derby.
Yeah, I mean, a second 3-game losing streak in 4 or 5 weeks would be disastrous, I think, and they might pull the trigger. I mean, if we lost that one, we'll probably be down to like 17th, 18th by the end of the weekend.
And also, our goal difference is just tipped into the negative.
Yes,
that could get worse.
100%. And we've currently got the Devils number as a record, 666, which doesn't make good reading whatsoever. That's a little bit of a worry. But, I mean, looking at our last lineup, Steve, against Sheffield United, this was what we went with. Begovic, Ricardo, Faze, Vestergaard, Thomas, Winks and James, Fatawu, Bobby Reid, Mavididi and Daka. Now, we're still kind of unclear on the situation with Wout Faes because we don't know whether it was a concussion or if it was just because they couldn't stop the bleeding. If it's a concussion, he'll miss this game, and we could see Skip or a Luco at centre back. But other than Faes, because that's unclear, what changes would you make to this 11 that we saw against Sheffield United?
So I said on Fox's Den yesterday that I think tomorrow comes in for Winks. We all know how Marty likes to have a reactionary when somebody has a decent 10-15 minutes. Realistically, I think the front three probably stays the same. As much as I think you might come in, I still think Daka plays. You might see JJ push into that cam role, and it'll be Skip, Samare, and JJ, which
Yeah.
Doesn't fill me with any positives, let's be honest. JJ in that 10 and Samare and Skip in midfield. But look, if Skip's the workhorse, then fair enough. And if we're going to get a red card, at least Skip can drop back into that defence potentially. Other than that, I can't see any changes.
Yeah, I mean, do you think there's a possibility that we see maybe a Skip and James midfield two with Lewis Page in the number 10? I mean, he's back in and amongst the squad. He came off the bench on the weekend. Maybe with the bad run of form that we're in, he reverts back to what we did see earlier in the season, right, against Birmingham, where he got an assist and he started that one. He's not started a game since. Maybe it's his turn to come back in?
I mean, you'd like to think so, because then it means that he's sort of switching his policy to youth players. And he's a natural number 10 in that role, isn't he? So it's not like you're shoehorning pieces in. And he puts James in his natural position in the 6, which means that he can push on and be that box-to-box gate crasher. So if that was the case, I'd be happy to have Page in over Samare or Skip. But I still think it's going to be James in that 10 and Samare and Skip, because he seems to trust those players more than the youth.
Yeah, let us know down in the comment section below what changes you would make to the 11. It's going to be interesting to see what Marty goes with. Just quickly then on Fass. Would you play if Fass is injured? Would you play Aluko at centre back? We discussed it on Fox's Den last night. I feel like the alternative is Skip at centre back. I mean, Okoli's injured, Nelson's injured. You could potentially even see Hamza at centre back, or you could see Luke Thomas has played left centre back before under Ruud van Nistelrooy. Is Aluko the guy you'd go with if Fass is concussed?
I would over Hamza Chowdhury and Luke Thomas as centre back. Yes, as much as Hamza has played there in the past, I wouldn't trust him at centre back. I barely trust him at right back or central midfield, so centre back's even worse. At least with Aluko, he's got pace, and he was a bit sort of brain dead with the sending off. You could see it coming a mile off. I said to the guy next to me at Southampton, he's going to get sent off, and lo and behold, he did. I think that he'll learn from that, and he won't be as rash now. So, and he'll want to impress still, and he's got the pace next to Vestergaard, which is important. So, honestly, and Neil said it last night, and a little light bulb went off in all of our heads. I think that could work. He plays there, he's played there in the past, so why not give him a chance?
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. I agree. Let's see that, please, Marty. And as always, Steve, we're going to end it with the score predictions. I know I always say a 3-goal lead or whatever, but I'm going to go with a 2-1 win this weekend. I think we're going to get the 3 points. I think it will probably be a little bit unconvincing again, unfortunately, because that's just how all of our results seem to go. Even when we win, it seems to be unconvincing. But what are you saying for this one, mate?
I've gone a bit positive this time. I'm going for a 1-1 draw.
Ooh, that is positive for you, mate.
It is at the moment.
1-1. Let us know down below in the comment section what your score prediction is. I just feel like at the minute, Steve, every game we go into, it could be anything. Like, we could rock up and get the win, but then we're just so inconsistent. Three losses on the bounce, and then we drew 1 and won 2, and it's or 1-1 and drew 1, and then won another 2, and then lost 2. It's just all over the place, mate. I just can't call it at the minute. I don't know. It's rough. It's really rough.
It is quite rough. And you're right. Any Leicester side could turn up. It could be anybody. So let's just hope it's the Leicester that beat Charlton and Birmingham, and not the Leicester that played the last 3 or 4 games.
Yeah.
Because if we go 3-0 down again, but before half time, oh my God, the head loss on Twitter will be significant.
He'd be sacked, I think, surely, if we went 3-0 down. I mean, it's hard to see a way back for him from that if we're 3-0 down at halftime to Derby. But I mean, regardless, even if it's a 1-0 loss or a 2-1 loss, right? I think that probably will be curtains. But let's wait and see. Of course, we'll be live for the watch along on Saturday. Thanks to the lads last night for reminding me that it's actually a 12:30 kickoff. I was going to do a little early run to Costco on Saturday morning, but that's not happening now. So 12:30 kickoff. So we'll be live from about 10 past 12 or quarter past. It depends on how outrageous the team news is. That will determine what time we're live. But yeah, probably 10 past 12. And yeah, that's it. Thanks, Steve, mate. Thanks for joining me. As always, much appreciated. Thanks to everybody for watching. As I said before, get your comments down below. Let us know your score prediction and what you're expecting from this game. And we'll see you on Saturday. Chisel, take care. Bye-bye. No more 200 grand, but our new sponsors, The Beautiful Frame, have smashed it with this Jamie Vardy piece. It's unreal. They're a local Leicester business as well, which makes it even better. And not just City, they do prints for other clubs as well. So it's perfect if you are stuck for a birthday or Christmas present for one of your friends or family. Now, the best bit, they have sorted BTG viewers out with a discount. Just use BTG12 at checkout for money off. BTG12. Grab yours now at thebeautifulframe.com. The link is down below.